What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday, August 8th. I'm actually recording this pretty late at 10:30. I had a busy evening today, but I definitely wanted to cover today's session. I don't have too much to report. It was pretty much what I expected, but there were some things that did stick out. Before I start with the breadth numbers, I just have this funny news report that I'm reading about WeWork. They're basically saying, they announced after the closed that they're warning that it has substantial doubt about its ability to keep operating. However, the CEO said WeWork is still confident it can continue to meet the needs of its customers. How is that possible? If you have substantial doubt about your ability to keep operating, how are you going to meet the needs of the monthly and annual subscription customers? I don't understand. Basically, what this signals to me is that they're going to try to wipe out all of their debt and all of the rent that they owe these landlords, and they're going to try to renegotiate as much as possible and threaten bankruptcy, saying, hey, you need to cut my rent 80% or go pound sand. That's what I think is going to happen to a lot of these commercial landlords. So this is something that's developing. They own a boatload of these micro, short-term, diced up leases with commercial real estate and office buildings. So this should get very interesting. Keep a close eye on the ETF IYR. A lot of people mistake this as being housing, like you and I buy a home type ETF, but IYR is filled with real estate investment trusts. But with that said, let's jump right in to breadth. You know I love to cover this. There's some complexion things that I need to cover, but today as a whole, there were 130 new highs, 269 new lows, 33% were advancing versus 61% declining. The only real green sector today at the close of the session was healthcare. And to kind of give you what the day looked like if you were busy at work or you just didn't really weren't able to follow it. In the morning, because of the Moody's downgrade of several banks and warning that there are many others that they might be coming out with in the next few days or weeks, there was a heavy sell-off overnight and into the pre-market. And the Dow at one point after the open was down like 400 points. So it was heavy selling today. The NASDAQ on a percentage basis fell the most intraday, but in the afternoon it recovered a lot of those losses. In the morning there were tons of charts that I shared, and thank you again for subscribing. I picked up, I think it was like 100 plus subscribers in the past like 2 weeks, so welcome aboard. But if you are not familiar with Substack Notes, it's kind of like Twitter for Substack, and it's much better in the sense that there's no advertising and there's no like angry algorithm that's trying to feed you things that upset you. And I share intraday tons of content. Today I shared at least 20 charts intraday, and I'll post that in the show notes. But definitely follow that on your phone. I'll link the actual link to the notes page for Substack on the show notes. Around 2:20 in the afternoon, I started to see breadth pick up in advanced declines on the NYSE, but the volume was just flat. So I thought it was going to be potentially a fake out and then reversing back into a sell-off into the close. But at 3 p.m., right on schedule, the volume came in. And I'll post what that looked like on my phone so that you can see what I'm seeing during the day. What to watch? There's, I'm going to sound like a broken record, right? Like, you got to watch yields. You got to watch US dollar and the currency pairs. Keep watching the Magnificent Seven, Apple. When I take a look at S&P futures, the ES, it's literally back-testing the 50-day moving average, as I had predicted. Nothing to panic about here. We really need to break much lower. Like, you need to break the 50-day moving average with volume. And then if we can get, to like 4,444, that's kind of the high volume node of the previous range before this breakout. So for me to start to look really bearish at the market, I need to see the 50-day moving average break on the S&P and all the indices. I need to see on the ES 444 tested and potentially break. If those things don't happen, we're still in the bullish impulse, but keep those in mind. Just as a quick reminder, I will cover the market session on Wednesday, August 9th, but I am taking a long weekend break this week, so there won't be a podcast for Thursday and Friday session. I will be back in the office on Monday covering the Monday session, and that will come out on Tuesday morning. But I will, again, be posting a lot of activity and analysis through the Substack Notes platform. And thank you again for tuning in. Please subscribe to nyugrad.substack.com. You can find me on Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.